me, Super Mario! Dave, are you really gonna make me do this?
It's a revolutionary new approach to using Bollinger Bands with all kinds of different input series. I used to attach Bollinger Bands to all kinds of different things, and in the new MMT Super Barrio indicator, I've got a bunch of different built-in oscillators that you can use. You can use just one, or you can combine many, and you can also use a custom input series of your own. This indicator will normalize whatever input you throw at it into a custom set range, and it will attach Bollinger Bands to the plot of your selected input or inputs. And then it prints bar colors, one color for when the plot is above the center Bollinger Band, or when the plot is below the center Bollinger line. This white middle band, this is the center Bollinger Band, and a separate color. I've got dark green and dark red. That's when the plot is either outside of the upper Bollinger Band or outside of the lower Bollinger Band. And then when the plot moves back inside the Bollinger Bands, we get reversal signals. There's a red Bollinger reversal signal right there as the plot crosses back into the Bollinger Bands. We just got a long signal here as the plot crosses back inside of the Bollinger Bands after being outside of the Bollinger Bands. There's also some extreme levels. These are fully customizable. The range of this custom plot is anywhere from 0 to 100. I've got the extreme upper zone set at 95 and above, and for the lower zone I've got it set at 5 or below. So anytime we're up in these extreme zones, there is an option to print arrows. You can see here the plot got up into the extreme zone. We got some potential reversal signals here, these gold arrows. You can turn all of these arrows on or off, as well as the bar coloring. So let's have a look under the hood at the MMT Super Barrio. So these are the reversal arrows. You can turn these on or off. They have their own custom offset, their own custom colors. You can set a custom period for the Bollinger. I've got my favorite settings, a period of 20, standard deviation of 2. These are the extreme zone signals, these gold arrows. You can change the color, you can change the offset of the arrows, you can choose the level for the upper and lower extremes. Maybe you want to see when it crosses 90 and 10. So now the extreme background comes down a little bit lower, and once this gets up into the 90 area, you'll start getting the reversal arrows. Different settings might be better for different sessions. That would just all come down to personal preference. Normalize, look back. So right now this is looking back 200 bars to normalize all of these potential inputs that you can use. You could play around with making this bigger or smaller. The whole time that I've been using this indicator, I've just been using 200 bars. I've been very happy with this setting. So these are all the different inputs that you can use. The videos that I've already done about this indicator, where I've been using it in my live trading the past week, I've only been using the DMI as an input, nothing else. Right now on this current chart, I'm using the DMI and the input series, which I will discuss more about in just a little bit. So these are all the different possible built-in inputs that you can use, and you can combine as many of these as you like. Got the ADX, the Arun oscillator, CCI, the Chaikin oscillator, the DMI, the Fisher, the MACD. You can either use the MACD difference or the actual MACD. Got the MFI, OBV, the rate of change, the RSI. You can use the stochastic, either the K or the D plot. You can use the Williams. You can use the TSI. So let's just say I wanted to combine the D plot of the stochastic with the DMI that I already have. I hit apply. Now you can see my signals are a little bit different. It's normalizing any input series that you select into one composite. This gold line represents the composite plot for any input that you choose. So it doesn't matter if some of these have different scale methods. They all get thrown into the same formula and put into the same range of 0 to 100. So it's a very unique way to combine several different oscillators or inputs and then attach a Bollinger Band to it and get all kinds of signals. So use input series. I've got this checked on. If this is checked on, then whatever your data series input series is set to, it will also use this in the formula. By default, it does not use this, but right now it's just using the default input series to close a price. But I could also choose any indicator that I want to throw in as an input series. I could throw in the MMT Ultimate Delta. I could measure some cumulative delta. Click on the cumulative button, have the plot as the delta close. Now I've got cumulative delta thrown in the mix. And this plot is being calculated based off of cumulative delta because I'm using the input series and also the DMI. So it's a combination of the DMI and cumulative delta right now. So there's just a ton of different combinations that you could play around with, find something that works for your own personal trading style. So in the visuals section, color center bars and color center outline. This is currently set to lime green and red. So you can see on the chart, here's the lime green, here's the red. So anytime the plot is above the center Bollinger Band, it's going to print these lime green. Anytime the plot goes below the center Bollinger Band, it's going to print the candles red. So if I just wanted to paint the inside of the bar and not the outline, I can uncheck that. Now I've got my default data series outline showing up. I can do the same for the outside bars and the outside outline. I've got the outside set to green and dark red. And once again, this is when your input plot is above the upper Bollinger Band or below the lower Bollinger Band. You'll get the outside color changes. You could turn all of these off if you do not want to see any of the bar colors. The zones section. This is the extreme zone. You can change the color of the zone, the opacity, and then up here, this is where you set the thickness of the extreme zones. So I'm going to put this back to the default input series. I'm also just not going to use the input series. Just going to use the DMI, nothing else. That's what I've been using for most of my videos. These are the different plots. If you wanted a thicker input plot, you could change the width of the input plot as well as the upper, middle, and lower Bollinger Bands. You can see here the plot entered the extreme lower zone. We got this gold arrow to the upside. It also moved below the lower Bollinger Band and then popped back up inside the Bollinger Bands, and we got this reversal signal here. And then here the plot moves above the center line. We start getting the green candles. So with the MMT Super Barrio, this is an indicator that I would always use on bar close. You might be able to find some creative ways to use it on price change or each tick, but the input plot is just going to bounce up and down between 0 and 100 way too frequently when it's on price change or each tick. So I would personally use this indicator on bar close only. Otherwise, you're going to get some crazy signals. So that's the overview video for the MMT Super Barrio indicator. I've never seen anything quite like this before. I took my love for Bollinger Bands and attaching Bollinger Bands to all kinds of crazy things and made a fun indicator to play around with all different kinds of settings and options. There are links to all of the MMT indicators in the description. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. I wish you best of luck in your trading. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.